Welcome to Digital Marketing for Contractors, a podcast for home improvement contractors to help you crush your lead goals and take your business to the next level. Join us each episode as we give you powerful insights and practical tips on the best digital marketing strategies to help you grow your home improvement business. Let's get started.
Welcome back to Digital Marketing for Contractors, the podcast where we help home improvement companies grow smarter, generate better leads, and build more profitable businesses through digital marketing.
Yeah, so today we are here talking about something that contractors always say they want more of, but they often struggle to actually generate consistently, and that is referrals. Because let's face it, referrals close faster, they cost less, and they usually come from your happiest customers.
That's why we're excited to have today's guest with us. Joining us is Jamey. Jamey, pronounce your last name?
Vumback.
Vumback,
Yes.
The CEO and founder of Get The Referral, a platform built specifically to help contractors turn their customer base into a scalable referral engine.
Exactly. So Jamey actually created the platform after experiencing the pain of rising lead costs while he was running his solar company, and realizing that the best marketing channel was already sitting right in front of him, in his CRM, happy customers. So
yeah, we've had our own clients use this tool. We absolutely love it. We're so excited to share more about it with you guys today. So I'm just going to jump right in. Jamey, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. Love talking about what my passion is, and my passion is helping companies just find a different way to look at a channel that I think is so overlooked.
Yes.
When it comes to lead generation. So excited to kind of share a little bit about myself, and then kind of how we got to where we are today, and what we do at Get The Referral to help contractors across all of home services do this. We have hundreds and hundreds of clients across the country. We recently pivoted into enterprise, so we're now working with a lot of large enterprise home service businesses, especially with what's going on with the private equity roll-ups and such. So that has been a really eye-opening opportunity for us. So I can share a little bit about that and how that works as well, because it is a program where we put our money where our mouth is, and it's a pay for performance. So I know that in marketing, a lot of times, performance marketing is critical. So we have a solution for that as well.
That is awesome. I'm going to jump right in. I want to tell everybody about the product. We're going to get into that, of course. Yeah. Tell us a little bit. I know Mira teed us up. So you were an owner, you worked at a solar company. Give us a little bit of your background.
Yeah, so I spent a bunch of years working at AT&T. Okay. I was in sales and marketing and VP of sales, and got out of there in 2008. Crossed the country a few times with them, and landed back in. I'm an East Coaster, but I landed back in California, and looking for my next thing. Like, what was I going to do? I was at AT&T for 25 years, so it was time to go do something different. And came across this opportunity in 2008. Solar was starting to really take root and growing dramatically, especially in California. And there was a new franchise company out there called Solar Universe, and it kind of matched my sales skills. And I actually met my future partners not too long thereafter, discovering Solar Universe, and we formed a corporation and purchased the Central Valley territory for Solar Universe. And we ultimately grew that market from 0 to about 30 million in annual revenue. So, I certainly understand all of the things that, all of the contractors that are listening to this today go through on a very personal level. And as you mentioned, really enjoy, reacting and interacting with our customers. And it's all about customer service, right? You do a good service, you're going to get more reviews, you're going to get more referrals, and that all works together. But how do you capitalize on that? And so there's a lot of issues that came along the way with referrals, like how do you track them?
Yeah.
How do you get your sales reps? How do you make sure that's part of the process? How do you pay, these folks? So there was a lot of things that came up along the way that were, still worth my time and effort. But it was just really difficult, have a Google sheet and track everything there, send it to accounting, get a phone call 3 months after an install and say, hey, my sales guy said he was going to give me a referral fee. Well, no, so you had to deal with all of that. So, just came up with the idea one day, why don't we just build an app to give to our customers?
Yes.
And have them send us directly, right? Then we could track it. And so that's kind of where the idea was born. That was in 2013. And, convinced my partners to go out and build this, app. Back then there weren't as many apps as there are today, but
you were cutting edge.
Convinced them that the money we're going to spend on building this thing from scratch, we would certainly get our return on investment. So we did that and quickly realized that it was something that the market needed and the industry needed. And so pivoted in 2014 and created Get The Referral as a SaaS platform.
Awesome.
And just from there, started working with obviously a lot of other solar companies that we knew and continue to grow the business. And over time, I kind of stepped away from the solar and electrical company and wanted to go all in on Get The Referral. So I left behind the solar and electrical company, made a deal with my partners and said, you know what, this is my passion. This is what I love to do. And I went all in on Get The Referral back in 2017. And then since then, just really developed, I think, one of the most unique products in the marketplace today that allows for not only the ability to communicate and engage with your customers, but to really interact with them. And a lot of the things that you see in our program now came directly from our customers. Hey, what do you think about doing this? Can the app do this? Can the app do that? And so the version that I started with back in 2013 is a lot different from what we have today. And I thank our customers for that and the feedback and going from solar to roofing to home improvement, each industry vertical has a little different nuances in how they do business. And so we had to adapt to that and really identify ways that would make it, good for them and their industry. So it's been an exciting run. It's been 11 years and we're, I think, at one of the most exciting times that we ever had in the last 11 years. And that's because of what's happening out there with AI, lead generation, lead aggregators, TCPA, the economy, all sorts of things that are, kind of culminating, today in today's market. And so we believe that, or my main goal or our main goal as a company is for contractors to look at this as a channel, not as a happenstance.
Yes.
We want them to look at this and invest the time, effort, and money that it takes to have a successful program. And that's where we come in and we coach and train and share best practices. But ultimately, it's the experience where a contractor can communicate and engage with their customer. This is my elevator pitch, right?
Love it.
Yeah. This is my elevator pitch.
All our questions. We're just going to keep on scrolling.
GTR, the way I kind of, summarize it is we're a platform that allows contractors to communicate and engage with their customers from the point of sale and beyond. The and beyond becomes very important because being able to stay connected to your customers well beyond the installation of whatever product that may be is critical, right? And you built a great relationship with them and, why not, stay connected in some form or fashion. And emails, as we know, is, just really difficult to do. Text messaging right now, it's so difficult to manage text messaging and, you just need a place to land. And so with Get The Referral, we're a white label branded app where you're going to own real estate on your on your customer's phone. And that's where your customers live. I know I do. I know, a lot of people out there live on their phones. And so if you can own that real estate on their phone and be there when, they need you or you need them to share the experience that they had, it's going to be a game changer for you. So
I think it's really important what you said, like right there at the end, because we've got clients, like I said, who also use this. And you said that white label aspect. So, you've got on your app, like on your phone, you've got on your phone an app that says ABC Company, and it's branded to ABC Company, and it lives and breathes on your phone and your device. So every time you're scrolling through past your Facebook, Instagram app, you see ABC Company right there as an app. And it's an amazing resource. I know we're going to get more into what it is, but I had kind of forgotten about that white label aspect of it. And that's so powerful.
Well, and you also talk about meeting them where they are.
Sure.
Like, let's not try to find a whole new place and way to get in touch and get in front of our prospects. Let's meet them where they're at on their phones. Like you said, we're scrolling all day, meet them where they are.
So obviously we're sitting here, we're a digital marketing agency. We generate hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of leads for home improvement contractors every single day. But I'm sitting here as a business owner, saying these referral leads set so much higher and faster than the leads we're going to be spending money generating for you. And they close. So I guess what I want to kind of shift to, and then we'll get really into the nitty gritty of Get the Referral, is why are contractors failing at these referral programs? Because it is such a lucrative opportunity. It just they're using spreadsheets, there's not a system in place. Why is it failing?
Lack of process, right? Lack of process is what it really comes down to. Because every contractor drives to, provide a great customer experience, right? They're going to do everything they can do to provide a good experience. And so, but how do you capture that? How do you turn that into something bigger? And so if you don't have it part of your process, that's where the failure breaks down. And if you allow, or you think your sales reps are going to do it for you, it's just not going to happen. Just being realistic, you're going to probably have one or two sales reps that do a great job, that ask for referral every time. But if you don't have a standardized process that ties everybody in. This is one of the things we're learning with the enterprise companies. Like some of our enterprise customers has thousands of sales reps. Like one company has 3,000 sales reps. It's hard to control 3,000 sales reps across the board. So unless you have top down, whether you're a 5-man and woman company with 2 sales reps, or if you have, a $3.5 billion company with 3,000 sales reps, doesn't matter. It has to be top down. So, the ownership, the leadership needs to really buy into hey, everyone, this is the process. This is how we're going to do it. We're going to ask every single customer at this single point. There's a lot of different strategies on when and how you ask for a referral. And we do a lot of that in our training and best practices. But it's important to make sure that it's consistent and something that you can follow up on. Nowadays with Rilla and Zero, a lot of companies that are using that are capturing when do they ask for referral and what is the customer's reaction. And now AI is kind of calculating that information and saying, no, don't do it this way, do it this way. Right. This is the point that you want to introduce a referral. And so understanding that it's a science, it's not, do a good job and you're going to get referrals. It's just not the way you will, but you're not going to be able to scale. You're not going to be able to turn it into a channel. As I mentioned, our goal, it's, if you're not at 20% of all your total revenue being generated by referrals, after working with us for a year or two, there's something seriously wrong.
Agreed.
That's what we're seeing, right? Most large enterprise companies that we talk to ask the same question. They all tell me, well, we really suck at it, first off. Second off, it's only about 2 to 3% of our revenue, if I were to venture a guess. I'm like, okay, this is a great opportunity.
Yeah.
And this can be applied to any company, big or small, but it's consistent across the board. And another goal that we really focus on, and a lot of contractors don't pay attention to it enough, is really what is their cost per acquisition? Like, what does it currently cost them to bring in a new customer? And then working backwards from there and understanding that. And most, once again, large enterprise companies, they're happy if their total cost of marketing is 20%, right? Which is, in my mind, high, right? So in our program, when you kind of factor in the cost and everything else, rewarding homeowners for referrals and all that kind of fun stuff, once you start getting referrals, you're going to maintain, a total all-in marketing cost of less than 10%. So there's no better way to control your cost. And for smaller companies, that money's going to go to your bottom line. And larger companies, you're going to be able to scale this thing across, different verticals that you sell, a lot of cross branding. So, but try doing that with a business card to hand out to somebody. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
And a QR code, right?
Exactly. Right. Exactly. So it's so I get back to the long-winded answer to your question is it's all about having a process and top-down awareness and buy-in from, the leadership team. So
right. And it sounds like GTR is putting that process in place for you. It's putting the structure, all of that in place. Like you said, it's just then getting your team, your leadership on board with it. So tell us a little bit about the homeowner experience of submitting a referral. Say I use Joe's roofing company and I had a good experience. What happens for one of your typical clients when they leave that job?
Yeah, I'll share with you first, like our best practice, because some of the pushback we get was my customer's not going to download another app, right? So
exactly.
Yeah. So it's all about providing value to that homeowner and giving them the reasons why they should download the app. And so that's where we are really unique in that we integrate with their CRM, both on lead submission and lead updates, but also on project status tracking. So you're able to actually track your project. So the in-home experience at Joe's Roofing is I'm the sales rep and I say, okay, Mr. Customer, go ahead and download our app. Here's a QR code, scan it in, register. And by the way, we have this great rewards program. But before I get to that, let me show you what your journey is going to look like as you go through this project. And then they pull up the project tracking and saying, we're going to notify you here at this step, almost like the Domino's pizza tracker. Yeah. We're going to be able to, show you every step, and you won't have to call us, right? And oh, by the way, you can access your documents, your warranty information. You can contact us right from the app. And, by the way, when the job is complete, if you had a great experience, you can write a review. We have a review portal within the application, right? So all of that kind of combined adds additional value. The customer goes, I'm going to be able to see what's going on in real time. If you work, if they work with Company Cam, we have an integration with them. We're going to send you photos of every step of the way. So, you can access, this at any point in time during the day or at night, whenever you need to look at your project, you can see where you are. And we're going to stay, in touch with you all along the way. And by the way, we have this great rewards program. And if you submit 3 referrals today, you're going to receive a 10% discount. Today, you're going to walk out of here with a 10% discount if you give us 3 referrals. Before you even sign. Right. And by the way, if those customers that you refer to us, they're going to get a 10% discount because you referred them. Plus, any one of those referrals that sell, we're going to pay you $250. Right. Okay. So now you got a customer going, oh, wow, look at that, and then when you really have a process in place where the sales rep is doing it on every single call, and they're walking out of the home with 2 to 3 referrals. Let's just say one of them becomes a sold deal. I mean, and you think about how many how many sales reps you have and how many sales deals that you close in a month, you can actually, set up benchmarks around what you could expect from the channel. And it's super easy to do. And that's where we come into play, and we set benchmarks and we follow up with them and really track all of those metrics. And we really look at, 4 unique kind of areas of the experience. It's number 1, sales rep adoption. Number 2 is homeowner adoption, right? How many can you get downloaded? Third one is, of those homeowners that downloaded the app, how many are going to submit a referral? And the last one is, of the referrals that are submitted, how many are actually going to give consent or book an appointment? Mm-hmm. And so those are the areas that we focus our coaching and our customer success folks work with our companies, and really helping them, first of all, define what is good, and then how are they doing in those areas? And then if they're not doing well, how can we help them through training, ongoing training, webinars, and things like that, where we could help improve those metrics? So
I love that. I don't think I knew that part of this. I've obviously played with the app. I've encouraged our clients to use it. So you guys do, though, provide training for contractors, like in terms of what to tell the sales reps to do, et cetera.
Yeah, we actually do. In most cases, it's a virtual training with the sales reps. That's part of our launch plan. And, that is, kind of the last step before launch, is getting the company aligned on the front end, and, the onboarding piece of it and the integration. Those are all the boring stuff, right? But the exciting part is when it comes to, how do you train the sales reps? Because referrals are really 3 parts. I call it a 3-legged stool. One of them is obviously your connection to your salespeople and the homeowners, right? They have a unique relationship with that customer. The customer liked them, they bought from them, and, providing everything goes smoothly, they're going to, purchase from them and send referrals. So you got the sales rep piece. The next piece is your past customers. How can we help you go and reach out to the hundreds or thousands of previous customers that you worked with? So we have a product called Referral Boost that does exactly that, where it actually is a simplified method to gather referrals through providing those existing previous customers with just a link. So they don't have to download the app or do anything like that. They just share their link, and it's going to be attributed back to them as a person that shared their link. And then once they get their first referral, of course, hey, go ahead and download the app so you can track and get rewarded. And then we actually pay the rewards right in the app. So another reason, so the money is coming through, they can download it to their bank, or we have gift cards that they can select. So, once again, having that app there, they're not going to delete it if they have money. I'm not going to delete my Venmo account if I got money in it, right? So that's the second leg. The third leg is, how can we help you build a network of what I call affiliate folks that, can help drive referrals outside of your customers. So you got your sales reps and your current customers going forward. You got your previous customers, and now you got your affiliates. So it kind of comes in steps. You don't want to do it all at once because it's a lot of work there. But you have your affiliate piece where you go out. I used to, when my solar company, I used to send my sales reps out once a month, go to a real estate office on their Monday morning meeting, and just present Solar Universe, like, hey, this is what we do. And by the way, we got this great program. We're going to pay you $500 for every referral that you send us that we sell. And then sign up all the real estate agents, and so, or if you're working with an HVAC company, or if you have a sister company, get all of your employees on this program. It's not just for sales reps. Exactly. Every single employee in the company could be, have their own personal QR code. So it's attributed back to them. So now you have this tracking, and you have these methods to really manage and scale a program. So those are the 3 kind of legs that, I really, coach on.
Yeah.
I love the coaching side of it. Absolutely. I love the app side of it. We're getting windows replaced at our house right now. And it's so funny. You said the messaging side of things. I know I'm going off the cuff of Get The Referral, but my husband and I were like, what is the number of the company we just gave $8,000 to? How do we get in touch with them? How do we find out when this project's starting? Mm-hmm. And to have that at the palm of your hand, and not have
convenience, transparency, it's immediate gratification. We don't want to have to wait to call somebody.
No.
We want to be able to find it at any moment.
And then like, I'm not having to go through my email and like, look
Exactly. Yeah.
yes, and look at all this. Like, it's all right there. And then I could walk over to the St. Patrick's Day party at the neighbor's house tonight and be like, yeah, here's my easy, like,
share link. Yeah.
Like,
So there's two ways to submit a referral. You have obviously your manual referral. And this is a really cool piece for companies that are concerned with consent, which should be just about everybody nowadays.
Yeah. For sure.
We're the only company that you're going to be able to actually get consent via a manual referral. So if I, refer Caitlin today, typically that information would go into the, CRM, the call center calls them, and you hope they answer the phone. Where now what happens is if I'm the advocate homeowner that's going to refer, I'll put in the information, select the product, because you can have multiple products you can refer, and I hit submit. Instead of it going to the CRM, it pulls up my personal text message, and it says, hey, text Caitlin personally that you're sending her this link. And so now I'm going to send you a link, Jamey, to Caitlin saying, hey, I just referred you to ABC Roofing. Click here to book your appointment, click here to give consent or to get a call or whatever. And we're capturing that consent when they click on that link, and we're capturing the IP address and everything else. So now you're taking a referral, which normally closes at 50-60% of the time anyway. And now you're getting someone that says, yes, I want to be called. You take a referral that, now is going to close at 60, 70, 80% of the time. And that's what we're seeing with our consented referrals, is being able to get, that type of a close ratio. So then you have your manual referral. Then you also have your share link. So in your app, you had a great experience. You click on it, you share it on Facebook, Nextdoor, LinkedIn, wherever you want it to go. It goes out to the social media, platforms. And if anybody fills that information out, it's going to attribute back to you and the sales rep and everybody else in the whole process. It'll flow just like a regular referral. And then when those referrals get updated in CRM to either, demo completed or, sold deal, I'm going to get a notification. I can track all of my referrals in the app. I can see how much I've earned, how much have been paid. And so it just allows you to really, that transparency that you mentioned earlier, that's so important for the person sending referrals. Like if you send a referral and don't get paid, are you going to call the company and complain? Maybe, maybe not. But I'll tell you what, if I didn't get paid, I'm not going to do it again.
No.
You'll fool me once thing, right?
Yeah, no, seriously.
Well,
Tell us more about the rewards.
Right.
Like
I mentioned
this is like
cash,
like how does this work?
Gift card, and do the contractors have to manage that and deal with it, or does Get the Referral do it for you?
Yeah. So you'll set up your product. So I walk backwards from this when I say, if they don't know what their cost per acquisition is, we'll work with them. Say, okay, how much are you spending here? What is this? We kind of figure out what are they currently spending to get a new sold deal in the house, in the company. And then when we figured out that, let's just say it's $1,000 to get a new customer, right? So then they say, well, how much should I reward my, the homeowner to give me a referral? I think we should give him like $75. I'm like, what are you talking about? You pay $1,000 to get a lead that closes at, it takes forever to close. Now you want to pay $75. So let's kind of cut that now. Let's pay him $500, right? And by the way, if they send you a referral, you go meet with them, let's pay them $50. Because what is your lead cost right now? Oh, I pay like $150 for every lead. Well, why not pay somebody for a lead that you've given me that I went and met with, did a proposal, they didn't buy yet, but it's a great lead. Pay them $50. Guess what? Because that person that gets $50 is going to want to send more to you, right? Does that make sense? And we kind of go through that process. And so we set up the product based upon how much they want to pay. And then we look at it and we make sure it aligns with that 10% or less overall marketing cost. Yep. And then, figuring out, okay, well, how do we pay our, what about the sales reps? Well, this is a big mistake. This is one of the reasons for non-sales rep adoption is they pay an extra 5% for a self-gen, yet they don't want to pay anything for a referral that the sales reps actually got. So that's a big fall off. And they go, why should I pay a sales rep for a referral? That's my referral. Like, no. The sales rep created the relationship. They built it. They asked for it. They got it, and you sold it.
Right.
Pay the sales rep a referral bonus like you would for a self-gen bonus. And so that's another key thing. So once you start doing that, and the sales reps see they're getting an extra 5% for every referral that sells, there's the magic right there. That's when it kind of comes together. And then you can actually pay the sales rep in the app. That's a whole nother thing. But then now they see the money pop up. Like I said, 3 sales, here's, whatever the dollar amount is. So they get excited. There's buy-in there. The sales rep has their own version of the app so they can track all of their advocates, all of their, all their homeowners, all their referrals. They can reach out to them. They can thank them. Like the sales rep interacts with their network of homeowners advocates. So once you submit the referral and it goes through and it gets to say they met with them, did a proposal and sold the next day, it's going to send a message to the homeowner. You've just earned $500. Great. Well, I don't see it yet. Well, then the company goes in, they have a wallet that they load up money into, and they hit pay now because we track every one of those customers based upon the status of that lead in the CRM, and it tells them exactly how much is owed. And all they do is hit pay now, and the money goes electronically to that homeowner, and they get a push notification, and they can go into their wallet, and then they can either download it, link their bank, takes a minute, link in their bank, and then they can send it to their bank and get cash, or select over 200 gift cards. We have charities that they can select. If they don't want the money, they can give to charities, or there's a virtual debit card. So we leave it up to the homeowner and how they want to receive that money. Because if you give them a Home Depot or Amazon credit card or gift card, it's like, well, I don't use that, or I don't need it. It's like, no, I want to use my money when I want to use it and how I want to use it. So, that flexibility, transparency, the ability to see what's happening with their accounts. They can track all the referrals and see what status they're in. So, it eliminates a lot of phone calls, a lot of the confusion. And now you have this, active, network of advocates that are, not just sending one referral. We have some, believe it or not, advocates that earn $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a year in referrals. It becomes a second job for them.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's unbelievable. And so it's all about, having that process in place, following the playbook that we provide. And we don't go in and try to change a company's process. We only try to enhance it. Like, okay, we might have to tweak it a little bit here and there, but this is a proven method of, what's going to work for you. So
I know I'm like not letting you talk.
No.
But like, I'm sitting here imagining like, okay, cool. I have this app, I'm getting my windows installed, and I know Meredith, her house is old and needs her windows replaced too, because we're next door neighbors and our houses were built around the same time. I refer Meredith, and Meredith moves on and decides to move forward. Does Meredith's information go into the CRM and it's linked? I don't know if that's getting too in the weeds, but I don't know how important it is to know all of that.
Yeah. So no, when you submit Meredith's information, once she gives consent, and you don't have to use consent, just have it go directly into the CRM. But yeah, it'll flow right into the CRM. We're going to send over Meredith's information, any other information that was mandatory, or even, that's in the form that you fill out, the sales rep's name, the advocate's name. So we send that all to the CRM, and that's all part of the integration mapping that we do. And then that will sit in as a new lead. It gets coded as GTR or whatever they want to code it. And now, if that goes to his call center, then the call center will then, obviously reach out, and now they can associate it back to the sales rep that was, associated with you when you had your windows done. And so it all kind of flows, like that.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, Meredith, I'm sending you
I know, and I've actually
your windows
new
look
windows.
nasty.
And I mean, you mentioned CRM. I know that there are tons of CRMs out there. How much coverage in terms of CRM integrations does Get the Referral have?
So I would say we've integrated with over 100 different ones, believe it or not. There is very few that don't play nice, and they're starting to play nice because they have to.
We get it.
Those companies that wanted to kind of be everything to everyone, they realize that you can't do that. So they are, and there's only a couple left out there that make it a little bit difficult. But yeah, just about anyone. We have an open API as well. And typically if the CRM has an open API, then integration can be done. We use Zapier a lot of times to create the connections to make it super easy. We have direct integrations, we have custom integrations. So it's kind of all over the board when it comes to that.
Yeah, that's amazing. You told us some success stories in terms of metrics. I think you said something about 20%. Like if your leads aren't jumping up to 20% from referrals after working with us, do you have any just top of mind other
stories maybe of 2 different size companies?
Yeah, I love talking about this one because they became part of my company. I'll explain what happened here. So I had a company that I worked with. It was a solar company, became very, very, very large. And they were customers since probably 2015, soon after I created Get The Referral. And they just continued to grow and grow and grow. And over time, I became friends with the owner, and they ended up selling for close to $1 billion. About 3 years ago. And he will stand in front of anybody and tell them that 40% of their revenue came from Get The Referral and referrals.
40%.
He saw the
sales rep.
Yeah.
He saw the power of it, and he actually created an internal team that focused just on the referrals. So when he sold, he went on to go do some other things, and we stayed in touch. He actually became an investor of GTR, by the way.
Nice.
And he told me, he says, "Hey, I had this team of folks that, really, they've been doing it for 10 years and they know how to do referrals." He goes, "We should think about bringing them on." And so I ended up hiring, I think it's 5 of them now that all work there in their referral program. So the folks that you get to work with are experts in referrals that know how to scale a company and know how to scale these things. So having, they've been there, done that. And so, there is a level of competency that our contractors can rely on because they've done it themselves and they understand how it works. And, that's one of the great stories. My own personal story.
Company. I'm trying to think about the range of contractors.
Yeah, it was we were pretty small when I was doing. I'll give you my own personal experience. About 20% of our business was coming from referrals. Now I drove this thing from the top. I mean, we got to about 60-65% of our business coming from referrals. I literally, changed the whole composition of our P&L. And from a smaller company, it's all about moving that needle. So and we have case studies that show year 1, year 2, year 3, and every year it goes up. Every year you see the percentage go up. It's not like you get to one and it just flattens out. It just continues to grow because it's an 80-20 rule, right? 80% of the customers may or may not submit one referral, but 20% of those customers stick around and they become multiple referrers. So over time, that 20% keeps growing and growing and growing and growing. And those, it's all about staying top of mind. You mentioned, the app and having it at your fingertips and, sending gentle reminders through push notifications, wishing them happy holidays or, hey, there's a storm coming.
I love that.
So push notifications get read 97% of the time versus a text message with, and you mentioned that before. It's you scroll, what was that text message? It was a short code with 5 numbers. Where was it? And you're scrolling text messages. Whereas I just boom, open it up and there's all the information I need about my company, my warranty information. When I used to go to the house at the end of a job, we used to drop this binder off. It was about this big and, it'd go sit in the top of the shelf. No one ever touched it. Well, you don't have to do that anymore. You just upload it all to the customer's portal in the app and all that information is right there. So there's just so many other components of it that make it successful. When we talk about, successful companies, it's incorporating all of those things, and you don't have to do it overnight. It's not like all of a sudden you're going to have to all these different processes. It takes over time. First thing is, let's get your sales reps engaged. Let's make it part of the process. Let's get them rewarded. Let's get the rewards right for the homeowners, and then let's, because that's kind of a, going forward basis, right? And then you have your previous customers and affiliates. So it's all about building it over time. But just think about, over a 2-3 year period, you have access to 10,000, advocates or previous customers that you've worked with, and you can stay top of mind with them by a simple push notification, a reminder. We have one company that sends out, a lot of companies do it, but one in mind sends out every month who got paid what. They'll actually say John J.
Oh, like here's a leaderboard.
$50. Yeah. So, and they start kind of this whole, really, you got paid that much? And they'll send out just push notifications, and it just, sparks, yeah, you know what? I forgot I have this referral. And so, reminders, share your share link, start earning today, so combination of that, and once again, just staying top of mind is so, so important.
The most.
I feel like you guys have thought of literally everything
I know.
built into this app.
I know. I'm obsessed. I could
insanity.
I want to sit here and talk about this all day. I'm like, I'm so glad we had this conversation. And we could keep talking, but
yeah, we'll be respectful of everybody's time and whoever's listening to this podcast.
they probably already left and they're on Get the Referral.
Exactly.
So listen, yeah.
No, I hope so.
Jeremy, thank you.
Jamey.
Yep.
It is, yes, we're recording this after lunch towards the end of the day. So.
There's no good time to record these.
Thank you so much for sharing everything that you know, not just about your platform, but about referrals in general.
Huge.
This is such a big opportunity, referrals in general, and feels like you have truly made a system that is going to processize that and make it as simple as possible. I'm already, wheels are spinning and turning. I'm like, okay, this client, we got to go get them signed up. So
I want a Fat Cat app.
I know.
I know. So yes, if you are listening, which I'm sure you have already left because we are just rambling Joes, and you want to learn how to turn your customer base into a referral engine, you need to check out Get The Referral. GetTheReferral.com. Is that right?
Yep.
GetTheReferral.com and see how their platform works.
Yes. So thank you again. Go check it out. As always, if you're looking for any help generating leads through digital marketing, PPC, SEO, social referrals, yes. You can visit our website at fatcatstrategies.com.
We'll have all the info about this linked in the show notes.
Absolutely. We'll have links to Get the Referral. Jamey, if they want to get in contact with you, what's the best way? Go through a form on your website?
Yeah, that's usually the best way. I mean, I give out my email all the time too. It's Jamey, Jamey at getthereferral.com. Reach out anytime. But yeah, website, and we can even give you guys a QR code that you can put on your site. That would be great, and that way you can see how many of your clients are.
There we go. You better believe I want a referral link.
Yeah.
There we go. I love it.
Thank you so much for your time. We'll talk soon.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Digital marketing for contractors is created by Fat Cat Strategies. For more information, visit fatcatstrategies.com.